Hi guys, Boris Dorfman, LBC Capital. Happy belated Thanksgiving, everybody. Hope everybody's recovering from the food coma. I did a pretty cool video on multifamily investing, and I want to give you another perspective on how to make money in real estate, but do not try this at home. It takes a certain level of sophistication, but you can obviously do it with people as part of the syndicate, people that know. Okay, real estate development 101. Again, this is not for you to go ahead and do it, but so you understand how it works. Many of you may or may not know I started my career as a finance guy in development for Zelman development companies. That was a while ago. We developed a few projects before, and I wanted to dive into a deep end. Multifamily. You can develop single family properties, you can develop warehouse space, you can develop anything you want, but multifamily, okay? So I found a property, and these numbers, again, I show you properties that are hard to get. Same thing as with my multifamily purchase example, but these are the numbers you're striving for unless you're working with extremely experienced people that can make things happen on smaller margins. Okay, let's roll. So there is a parcel of land on the west side in LA that's selling for $5 million. Okay, you can build 35,000 square foot total building space. Okay, you're buying land that's already fully entitled. It's called RTI. Permits are ready to issue. There's two sides to the development process. One is entitlement process. That means if you buy a piece of land, you have to get entitlements from the city to build. You have to work with architects, you have to apply for the city, you have to work with design board with some cities. Long story short, it takes anywhere from 2 to 5 years to get an entitlement package, to get architectural plans that are approved by the city, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so this is the first part of the project of development process. The second part is actual build. So what some people do, they acquire land, they assemble multiple parcels of land, and they start getting entitlements, and then they sell it. So for example, this piece of property, this piece of land is already entitled, it's selling for $5 million. Somebody bought this land about 3 years ago for 2.5. They got the entitlements, and now they're selling it for a nice profit. Okay, for all intents and purposes, we're acquiring a project that's ready to be built. $5 million, 35,000 square feet. It's going to be 5-6 story construction. Okay, let's roll on the cost. These are the cost, and this is the total budget. Hard construction cost is about $10.5 million. If anybody's interested, I can email the numbers. There is one level of subterranean parking that's going to cost about $1.5 million to build. Okay, and we're budgeting construction costs at $250 per foot, actual construction cost. So 250 times 35,000 is $8,750,000 plus parking, underground and on-grade parking. So actual construction cost is about $10.5 million. There's some permits that needs to be paid. There's carrying costs, property taxes, during the construction process, and then there is interest reserve. If you're getting a proper loan, you're not paying interest during the construction. You put this as part of the total budget. Okay, again, I only have about 10-12 minutes, so it's going to be very quick. If anybody wants to talk this over or participate in one of these in the future, let me know. We're coming out with a total budget of $17 million. That's acquisition, construction, permits, interest, all in, okay? Figure it takes about 18 months to build and takes about 6 months to lease these properties and sell. By the way, this is a 26-unit apartment building. These are not condos. You can build them as condos, but it's a different story, okay? 26 units. There's 10 units that are 3-bedroom, 3-bath. There's 12 units that 2-bedroom, 2-bath. 1 unit that's 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and there's 3 low-income units. Okay. How do you value the project? Okay. You value the project based on the rents it's going to get. You subtract vacancy rate, and you imply a certain cap rate. Okay, these are the numbers that we anticipate this thing is going to rent for. There is 10 units, the 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom. We feel pretty safe at $5,000 a month based on this location and the quality of the build. 12 units, the 2 and 2, 1 and 1, and 3 low-income units that total $2,000 a month. Okay, you do the math, you come out to a little bit more than $105,000 a month rent, and you're coming out with $1,267,000 yearly rent. Okay, you subtract expenses for it, you put 4% cap rate, and you're coming up with a $23 million valuation. How do you calculate return on all of this? Okay, obviously does not require 17 million cash infusion. 17 million is total cost of the project. Okay, the bank will carry anywhere from 65 to 80% of that cost, depending on the project, the experience of the developers and the builders. Okay, so let's say at 65% loan to cost, LTC, that's how banks calculate how much money they're gonna give you for something like that. LTC is loan to cost. So basically at 65%, let's say they give you 65% of 17 million, the development team has to come up with the 35% of down payment. Let's call it $6 million, right? So 6 mil in equity. Okay. Total cost is 17 million. You're selling it at 23. Real estate commission, closing costs, blah blah blah. Let's call it 22. 5 million profit on 6 mil outlay. This is for the project. If you're coming in as limited partner, obviously you're not getting a proportionate full profit, as the development team will take something, but these are the numbers that actually work. You know, if something goes over cost on this side, or if the units don't rent on this side for this much, there is enough room for profit, and there is some cost engineering that can be, value engineering that can be done, and to build it for cheaper. There's some things that can be done to rent it for more expensive. Obviously, we're at the mercy of the market, but this is it in a nutshell. Okay, call me, email me if you have any interest to talk this over. And also, this is not bulletproof, and if you see any mistakes, there's some over here, some things are not accounted for. If you see anything that you did catch, let me know. But again, in a nutshell, you got expenses to build, development costs on one end, you have your future rents on the other end, you have implied rate of 4% cap rate, and you have a roughly the valuation and roughly the total construction costs, and there you go. Anyways, thank you guys. Subscribe down below. I'll see you next week.